Before, apologize for the delay, but we had some technical problems. But in accordance with the provisions of MGL Chapter 30A, Section 20, notice is hereby given that the Conservation Commission is meeting tonight, Wednesday, July 10th, 2024, at 7:17 p.m. Members of the public are welcome to attend this in person at 1 Liberty Lane, Norfolk, Mass., or the remote Zoom connection provided. Please note that the in-person meeting will not be suspended or terminated if technological problems interrupt the remote connection. So we got those out of the way before we got the meeting going. So the first public hearing we have is Seekonk Street Culvert. We'll need a motion.
First, there needs to be a vote to open the meeting for tonight.
I don't like that one.
Gonna put that at the bottom of that paragraph, Dave.
Is there a motion to
Adam
open it?
Adam Zucker moves we open the meeting.
Second.
Valstone, I second.
I knew Alan would make the motion. So all in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, we're open and ready to go. Seekonk Street. We need a motion to open up the hearing?
No,
Or
that's
is it
been
just-
opened already.
Okay, just continue. All right. The installation of the new culverts. Is somebody here? Oh,
Hi,
there
I'm
they are.
This-
Hi,
sorry.
Please
Hi,
introduce yourself and your company, and you know they'll go.
Yep. Hi, I'm Lauren Gluck. I am Managing Environmental Scientist with PAR Corporation, and also here with PAR is Eric Silva, the project engineer. Some updates on the Seekonk Street project since we last met. Me and Eric had a call with Caitlin, just clarifying some outstanding items and information that should be included in the filing. So that included updating a couple of the plan sheets in addition to some revisions to the WPA form where that we had some minor corrections. So it's page 2, 7, and 8. And then sheets 21, sheets 21 and sheet 4 of the plans, we had some minor updates to those sheets. In addition, a stormwater management report was submitted that was requested by the commission. So that was submitted actually yesterday electronically, and then a hard copy should have been delivered of everything today. So we apologize for the short notice, not giving you very much time to review all of that. But we've provided all of the requested additional information. And if anybody has any questions at this time or wants us to go over in any more detail of what was provided, we'd be happy to do so.
Yeah, we appreciate the package you put together, but yeah, we don't like the late. We could have just continued this and not talked about it at all tonight because of the late submission of your information. But I think we're ready to, we'll see if the commission is ready to go on with this. So, Caitlin,
Yeah.
why don't you begin?
Well, I think it would be helpful for the board to hear a description of the revisions that were made to the plan sheets.
Okay. All right.
Lauren, if you don't mind describing those.
Yeah, Eric, did you want to describe those? I know, so sheet 21
Yeah,
was
I can-
just adding, oh yeah, you can go
Yeah, I
ahead.
can, yeah, so, so if we start with the construction plan. So in our discussions with Caitlin, we discussed adding potential locations for a dewatering basin and potential stockpile area, just to alert the contractor to locations within the project limits that would be appropriate for those operations. So based on the geometry of the roadway and the location of the driveways, the best locations for the dewatering basin and the stockpile would be on the north side of the project area. The roadway is going to be closed, so there's no issue with blocking the whole roadway. So the contractor would set up the basin and the stockpile locations based on what their operations are at that time. Likely, stockpiling would be from much room to stockpile anyway, to stockpile and complete their operations. So any major excavations of materials would probably be brought off site, and then when they would be filling, they would be bringing it in from outside of the project area. The dewatering basin, they could, it's up to the contractor how they want to set that up. Typically, we request that they submit a dewatering plan. So they would tell us what types of pumps, how, what type of basin they're going to build out there and how big it's going to be. And in talking with Caitlin, we discussed that that would be one of the special conditions that we submit that to the conservation agent for the town's review, along with our review. So that would be, we don't know all the details of that right now, but that would be known to the town before it's put into operation to ensure that it works properly and we won't have any issues with overflowing or any turbidity putting back into the pond or the river. So those are the changes on that plan. And then if you go to sheet 21, so that is a similar sheet that we submitted last time, showing the location of the erosion controls at the vernal pool located at intersection of King Philip Trail and Seekonk Street. So the only change on this one was basically just updating the note. So we wanted to make it clear that it would be a compost filter tube and a silt fence in this location, not just the filter tube or hay bale. Caitlin thought that was important, and we agree that this is a very sensitive area, so we want to make sure it's protected. Based on the operations that are going to happen out in that location, it's unlikely that anything would overflow into that area anyway, but it doesn't hurt to put out the silt fence also. So we already have a detail for that in the plans that we already submitted previously, showing the filter sock and the silt fence details. So we didn't need to include that, or it was already included. We just want to be more specific on that. It needs to be used in this location. So those were the only changes on the plans. And then, Lauren, I don't know if you want to discuss the changes on the WPA form that you had made.
Yeah, sure. They were pretty minor. So on page 2, it was in the project description where we referenced the water main replacement work, and we cited the appropriate regulatory exemption, which we had discussed with Caitlin and discussed briefly at the last meeting. On page number 7, we had checked off, there was a checkbox under item 6 saying is the portion of the site subject to a wetlands restriction order. So we were informed that part of that wetland system is part of a wetlands restriction order, but there were no particular concerns about this project, but that box needed to be checked yes. And then on page number 8, we checked item 9, attached stormwater report if needed, and then we're providing the stormwater report currently.
We don't have those pages. Oh, it's just the form?
It's just 3 pages of the form.
You put them up as I was looking at you.
She's just updating the, she's
Yeah.
telling you how she updated.
Okay, all right.
Go on, Lauren.
Yeah, continue.
Okay, yeah, so that was all the changes to the form, and then we also submitted the stormwater report. If you'd like us to go through any of that, we certainly can, but I understand if you'd like some time to review it as well. Eric, did you want to kind of run through that, or?
Yeah, I can quickly go through it. Basically, we just ran through the project description, and then went through each of the 10 standards that is, the DEP requires. Basically, in a nutshell, there's really not much room on this site to do any sort of meaningful treatment without looking at other locations outside of the project area or disturbing wetlands or other resources in the area. So, we're not increasing impervious. It's not like we're adding additional district out there. We have a low point in Rockville that would water enough that some, based on the regulations, but provide some treatment before it does discharge compared to what the current conditions are. And also important to keep in mind that by replacing this culvert, we are going to be reducing the amount of erosion that's occurring at the site currently. So right now there's a lot of erosion. So there's a lot of sediment getting into the channel right now that once we put this culvert in, that you're going to eliminate all that. So although that's not technically stormwater treatment by the regulations, it is going to improve the water quality in the area significantly. So that would help not just at the location, but downstream as well, and into Man Pond and Stop River.
Okay.
So, I mean, we'll give you guys time to review it if you need, but that's, we went through each of the standards, and, like I said, we can't provide any treatment, but because it is a redevelopment project, we're trying to do as much as we can that's practicable based on the situation.
Sounds reasonable. Caitlin?
Yeah, so due to the timing of the submission of the revised materials, I only had a chance to do a cursory review. So I'm not able to offer any official
Response.
analysis of that information. Although based on Eric and Lauren's presentation, it does seem that they've addressed everything we discussed when we met back in June.
Blair, is there any problems if we continue this to next month, so we have
Hang
enough
on.
time?
Wait, don't. You can go to the table and hold the mic, please.
Is it working? There we go. Timing is, time is valuable here. We've been sort of thing here. And we still have to do if it's at all possible to vote. If it's not possible, we'll work around it, but I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. Questions?
Yeah, was there a time crunch on funding?
Yeah,
Wasn't-
well, it starts in October, correct?
Yes.
With the new money,
So,
but it's getting the bids out and,
right. So how much pressure does that, if we were to continue it, how much pressure does that put on them to get that funding and not lose it?
Quite a bit.
Kind of puts us in a conundrum. Because, we obviously don't want to lose the funding. It's in the best
Yeah.
interest of
and
Norfolk.
we talked about that the last time.
Yes.
If I can add, so
You may.
if there are any remaining issues or things that need to be addressed that come up with, once the bid documents are being prepared, I believe that any of those can be addressed with adding special conditions. The commission has the right to add, modify, revoke any special conditions
At any time.
at any time. And that itself can be a special condition,
Right.
so that if, new information comes in, or, if there's a flooding event that impacts the area, the commission can, modify or add special conditions to ensure that the wetland resource areas are protected.
And we already have, Caitlin has outlined the special conditions. There's a minimum of the pre-construction meeting with all the parties. Prior to the site of work, the conservation agent will inspect the erosion control barriers, at least one. They have to give 1 week's notice before. Applicant should provide the dewatering plan prior to the start of work for our review, and the designated stockpile areas to be identified. And they've done it on the map, but I guess physically, when you walk the roadway.
Right, the specific contractor
Yeah.
submit that.
I'd like to say, Dave, I've recused myself from this project.
You have.
But I do want to add that I will be on site every day.
Oh, jeez.
And the water main has to be
Is that a-
replaced, and I will be there every day, so I will see the dewatering process. I'll be there overseeing a lot of that, the water main work. Of course, the culvert is going to be part of that. There's a gas line there that's got to be done as well. So even though I'm recusing myself from voting on this project, I'm asking my colleagues to think hard about passing this tonight so that we can move on, because it's very important to get that water main replaced as well. And that's where the funding and the bonds that are in jeopardy of not getting right now because of that.
Is it possible to vote to issue the order of conditions pending your approval of the control measures? As long as you satisfactorily approve that?
I
Or
think,
is that not
Not without the control.
yeah, I think if the commission were to consider closing the hearing and issuing an order of conditions, I think the best course of action would be to issue the order of conditions with the special conditions outlined that Dave just outlined, potentially adding a fifth, just that the commission maintains the right to add, modify, revoke special conditions as needed.
The only question I have, if we close a meeting, we put in a set of orders of condition, and then there's an issue, then we have to go through this whole process again, and maybe more than a month. So are there any other orders that we need to put in to prevent something like that happening? Some of the issues that you
So
may come across.
as far as the administrative side of things, everything that is required has been submitted. So if there were issues to come up, that would likely be during construction phase activities,
And then it's pre-meeting or something.
which, yeah,
It probably would be a weather issue, if anything.
Yeah.
You got a
Weather
small
related.
window of place to work there to begin with. But if we had a major downpour or something, it's happened there before.
Yeah.
We had a water main break and it flooded the whole woods and sand and everything. We had to bring in a vac truck and vacuum the woods out. So, I mean, that's why this project is so important to get done. The road is just going like this. It's got to go back to where it belongs.
Yeah. Any other comments, questions? All right, I'll entertain a motion to close the hearing. If you're so being.
So moved.
Is there a second to that?
Adam Zucker, second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, the hearing's
Abstain.
closed. So now we have to issue the order of conditions. Make a motion for that?
so the order of condition, the standard order of conditions, with the four,
Five.
the five special conditions,
They're listed here.
which is the pre-construction meeting, inspection of erosion control measures prior to the start of work, submission of a dewatering plan prior to the start of work, and then have designated stockpile areas identified prior to the start of work.
And then we can add or modify.
And that the commission maintains the right to add, modify, or revoke special conditions as needed.
Adam Zucker moves that we issue an order of conditions for project DEP 240-0670 Seekonk Street Culvert with the four written conditions plus the ability to address any issues that would arise at any time. Is that good enough?
Yes. I didn't know if you wanted to add. Is there a second to that?
I second that motion.
Okay, any further discussion? Anybody in the audience? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, it passes. Go to work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all. We appreciate it. Thank you. Yep. Okay, let's go to 17 Lake Street. Request for determination of applicability.
And this hearing has not been open. This is a new one.
Yes. So I will entertain a motion to open a hearing for 17 Lake Street.
Get back in the swing.
I make a motion to open the hearing for 17 Lake Street.
Is there a second to that beautiful motion?
Alstone, I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, opposed? No. All right, we're up and running. Introduce yourself, company, and name, and
Green light. Good evening, Mark Mariano with Oak Hill Engineering, 75 Oak Hill Ave, Seekonk, Mass. Tonight I represent the Roker family for a septic replacement at 17 Lake Street. The current septic found right here is, let me back up a little bit. We have vegetated wetlands found.
oh, wait a minute, before you go, do you have that map?
The map.
We have a pointer, but no, do you have it electronically?
Oh, yes.
But yeah, if you go ahead, point with that if you would, so we can kind of follow it better.
Sure thing. I can bring it closer too, if that helps.
And you're the inaugural person to use that pointer.
With the pointer?
It's just been christened.
Hopefully it's lucky. So we have our existing house right here. And we have some vegetated wetlands found to the south of the project. The area is currently developed. You can see edge of tree line, and the tree line runs along the edge of the stone wall found to the south here. Current septic is found right here. Some of it does go into, it's found well within the 100-foot buffer zone, and some of it kind of touches into the 50. So we are relocating it further back. The area that was chosen is on the edge of the brush line right here. Brush and trees and stuff like that. We do have to take out one tree, but then it gets heavily wooded, and we didn't want to take out all those trees. The septic leach field will be 91 feet plus from the closest wetland point. The site will have erosion controls, compost tube, found protecting from the house all the way back. A majority of the work that's happening closest to the buffer zone is the installation of the tank.
Okay.
So you're actually moving the new septic
Further away.
further away from
Yes.
the wetland?
Yeah.
Maximum compliance possible.
Doesn't sound like a lot of controversy
I wouldn't
to
think so.
discuss.
No, it's for the better,
Yeah.
Yeah, and you
and it has to be done.
gotta have a septic.
You have anything, Caitlin, on that?
Yeah, just, so the RDA application asked the commission to make a determination on 4 different things: whether the area depicted on the plan is subject to the Wetlands Protection Act, whether the boundaries of the delineated resource areas are accurate, whether the work on the plan is subject to the act, and whether the area and/or work on the plans is subject to the local bylaw. As far as the last 2, I would recommend the commission issue a -3 and a negative, that should actually be 6, determination. So -3, work is occurring within the buffer zone, but based on best management practices, should not adversely affect those. -6 determination, that it's in an area subject to jurisdiction under the bylaw. But
Clarification, is it -5 or 6?
6.
it's
She changed it to 6.
-6, or, yes, -6. For the first two questions on, whether the area is subject to the jurisdiction to the Wetlands Protection Act, I don't see a reason for the commission to make a determination on that. As far as whether the boundaries depicted on the plan are accurate, while I did find those flags to be accurate in the field and accurately shown on the plan, it may not be necessary for the commission to make a determination on that. However, if the board wants to, there are two possibilities: a positive 2A determination, basically stating that the boundaries shown on the plan are accurate, or 2B, that the boundaries shown on the plan are not confirmed under this RDA application, regardless of whether they're shown on the plan or if they're accurate.
The latter one is at the -3?
No, so this is in regards to whether or not the commission determined if the boundaries are accurate. One reason to not make a determination on that, if, the property is sold and there is a subsequent filing within the 3 years that this RDA is valid, there would be a legal argument, maintaining that line is accurate, although.
So ignore that, basically, without a determination.
Yes, so the commission has the right to essentially ignore that.
Comments, questions?
I just have, on the front page here, it says, I'm reading the right thing here, it says for the repair of a septic system within 100 foot. That's for replacement, is it?
Well, in Title V, a repair is considered a complete replacement.
Really?
It's in an existing house.
Okay. That answers my question there, then. It's good.
Yeah, some people think that I'm altering one.
Yes, yeah, no, you're doing a full, that's a full replacement, yeah.
But it's a pre-existing house.
Okay.
Okay. Motion to close.
Al Finney, so moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Anybody in the audience? Caitlin?
If the board has any questions about the different determinations.
Well, we're going to stay with the -3 and -6, correct?
If that's the board if feels is appropriate for this filing.
Your definition of them seemed to be appropriate to give them those determinations, so I would concur
To
with you.
allow the work to,
Continue.
yeah, correct.
Anybody else? Okay, motion?
Vote. Oh.
So a motion to
I second.
That moves us up to 39 Union Street, RDA.
Also a new one.
Hi there. Hi. You want to do the same thing? I can bring that up on the screen if you want.
Yeah, if
We
you
have
could,
this,
yeah.
We have to open the hearing on this.
Yes.
Talk to it if you want. Or you can stand over there with the pointer. Would you like-
Okay, I'll take a motion to open a hearing for 39 Union Street.
Wellstone, I make a motion to open the public hearing for 39 Union Street.
Is there a second?
Peter Kokinda, I second.
Thank you, Peter. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, sir, identify yourself and
Hi, my name is Donald Seberg. I'm with Glosser Engineering. This is, again, a replacement septic system. The existing system has failed, so this is another site. I was here before you last month. There's another site where it's the only place it can go.
yeah.
Sure. So, as you can see, there's a...
Nice catch.
So the site has a well right here. So we've pushed the system right on the 100 feet from the well where it has to be. And we've got it 10 feet basically off the roadway. So we've squeezed it as far away from the resource areas as we can. This area right here is lawn right now, and we've kept it right in the lawn. So that's about it. And the one other thing was, I guess, John had received an email, and we would be glad to go out and actually flag the resource area for you. But it can't move from where it is. But we could, just be sure that we know it's not, none of this is in the resource area. That's pretty much it.
The braided thing, is that erosion control?
Yeah, I'm sorry, yes, we're putting erosion control right through here. The old tank is going to get crushed and filled, and these will get crushed and filled.
And where is the old system?
Right in here. And like I said, unfortunately, you have the 100-foot well, so the only place you could move that would be, and that would be worse. The other thing was the flood zone, and we're about 10 feet above the flood.
So the email Don was referencing, so when I conducted my site inspection, I noted that the wetlands Mass GIS layer that is depicted on the plan isn't accurate. It actually extends closer to Union Street.
The wetlands?
The wetlands. From the tree line, I did just using paces, found that it was about, from the tree line, there was wetlands for about 20 feet in. So pretty close to the system. And Don, correct me if I'm wrong, but under the Wetlands Protection Act, existing systems don't have a setback.
They do not, yeah.
And there isn't a setback requirement under the local bylaw either.
This is grandfathered in because the house was built before the Wetland Protection Act and the system. So you just can't go into the resource area.
Yeah, and fortunately the well is just right in the middle.
In the well.
So
right up against the road, we did as tight as we could.
I would be inclined to say we should have it flagged.
If Bloss is willing to do that, I don't see any reason why we should say no to it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Is there any reason why the homeowner doesn't want to go on town water?
I couldn't speak for that, I don't know.
Only asking that because that
Yeah.
eliminates a lot of issues with your well.
With wells and everything, yeah. I'm sure they're happy with the well they have now.
Oh, I'm sure they would be. I would be too, myself, but if there was an issue, but I don't see an issue here at all. As long as it's flagged and that 20 feet you say that is wetlands is not in the system.
No, it's
Yeah.
definitely not
So that's,
in wetlands. I think, though, given the proximity of the work to the unflagged wetlands, adding a silt fence along with the compost stock would be a good idea, as well as requiring erosion control seed mix so that destabilized areas are revegetated as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I mean, with the system, they're gonna dig this out, and they won't be stockpiling any fill except for what's needed to backfill the system. And that will be seeded.
so they're gonna haul away.
They haul away what's not needed. They're pretty good at knowing just what they need to backfill, and they just take out all the unsuitable fill and bring in the sand and.
Sounds like another example of, we either approve it or condemn the property.
Basically,
No,
kinda it.
no, it seems like it's been put in the proper spot where it can only go.
Right,
So it is
right.
what it is.
Yeah, if it were to move back, it would be closer to the wetlands and also closer to floodplain, so,
Safest is safe
and
to
also,
be.
yeah, it would, add a financial burden as well.
There's no other questions? Anybody in the audience? Okay. Gotta ask if somebody's on Zoom. Then I'll accept a motion to close this hearing.
Al Finney, so moved.
Second?
Adam Zucker, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Then let's go,
All right, just to be, you wanted us to add silt fence to the compost stock?
Yeah, so
fine, yeah.
as far as the determinations, actually adding a positive 2B determination, meaning that the boundaries shown on the plan are not accurate. A -3 determination, so work is occurring within the 100-foot buffer zone, but will not impact wetland resource areas, as long as, with the conditions that silt fence is added as part of the erosion control barrier, and that the area is immediately seeded following backfilling. And then also -6 determination, just stating that it is subject to the bylaw, but based on the BMP's proposed won't have any impact to any bylaw-specific regulations.
then the other condition would be to flag it.
Right?
To flag the resource
Isn't that
area
what we talked about? Yeah.
prior to the start of work.
Yeah.
That way you're sure that.
So
it's-
whoever's doing the
that's
work.
just so we're sure that it's not.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So
Did you write all that down?
-3, so,
Well, the clerk has to do that. Okay.
seeding, flagging, and silt fence. So there's 3 conditions under that -3.
Okay.
And you believe the applicant is amenable to all
I've been holding it this
That everything Caitlin just said, so.
To determination, negative determination. 12-inch diameter caulk. The wetland boundary is flagged prior to the start of area. And then -6 determination.
So I'll make that motion for number 39 Union Street.
Is there a second?
Peter Kochen, a second.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Passes. Good to go.
Thank you.
Get that water running. Okay, now we're up to De Placido, partial release of Unit 39 and 41 on Avery Way. Tom, are you with us?
He left.
I'm
There
here.
he is.
On this. And good evening, everyone. For the record, Tom De Placido, and can everybody hear me? I'm just making sure.
Yes.
'cause I know-
Yep, you're doing good.
Good. Okay. This is one of the last two buildings, which is actually has the property line split down the middle of it, and it's one residential unit on each of these two lots. And there's a small section of the backyard that a swale runs through that was in the 100-foot buffer. We've actually seeded that, and grass is growing, and was able to walk over there on Monday with Tuesday, I think yesterday, with Caitlin to take a look at it. And I believe the grass is coming in well, even with some of the torrential rainstorms. And, we still have to do some landscaping in the front of the house, but that's out of any buffer zone. The reason we're asking for this release now is because there's a closing scheduled at the end of July, and your next meeting is in, I believe, the second, so after the close.
And those are the actual lots.
Thank you for the... Nice picture taking.
So I know there's some minor on just shoring up that. I guess that would are did to do that. You can see the grass and just from another angle that shows both units. And then if you go back to two back, to the left, those stakes, Tom, correct me if I'm wrong, those mark the swale?
Yes, we put those up for grading so that we can get the proper elevations on the swale. And the 100-foot buffer is probably just to the right of that, maybe 20 feet towards the house.
Back to the previous screen, that brown roadway, it looked like fresh dirt, soil. Oh, that.
This last picture.
That's actually a pathway that we constructed that goes from Avery Way up to
This one? That she has up? That's the pathway, too?
No, that's not. That's actually loam and seed that's actually loam that has not been seeded yet. That's out of the 100-foot buffer.
Okay.
I think the path you're referring to is right here. No,
No.
sorry.
The gravel.
Yeah, the dense grade path, the pathway goes through from the road all the way to the
Yeah.
woods. Right there.
Right there, yeah. Okay.
That's finished, right, Tom?
That is, yes. And that's actually held up very well. We had to redesign it, re-engineer it a little bit with some of the torrential rains, but that's been like that for probably a month and a half now, so you can see that has stood up very well given the precipitation events that we've had.
Okay. Questions, comments? Anybody? Then I'll entertain a motion to have the partial release of Unit 39 and 41 on Avery Way, Norfolk, Mass.
Mel Finney, so moved.
Is there a second?
Jim Wilson, second.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes.
Thank you very much, and I wish the commission a good night.
Now on to your next project, right?
Yep.
Thank you very much, Tom.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Have a good night, everyone.
Okay, 11 Everett Street. Request for COC.
And I don't believe anyone is attending for that. Well, you wouldn't be familiar with this. So the approved project was the construction of a detached garage onto an existing single-family home within the 100-foot buffer zone. And if you want to pull up the plan. So I conducted a site visit July 3rd to confirm existing conditions. I found that the project had been completed in accordance with the plan. Any disturbed areas were stabilized. The erosion controls were still in place and in good condition. There didn't appear to be any sort of issues during that during the construction phase. So I have no comments on that.
What is that red triangle?
So they added some additional paved area to the driveway just to help with the turnaround.
Turnaround, yeah,
From
okay.
that garage.
Okay.
And then if you want to pull up some of the photos. It definitely was a nice job. It doesn't even really look like there was recent construction out there.
Very nice. Okay. Any questions, comments? Then I'll accept issuance of a full COC. DEP file 240-0655.
Adam Zucker moves we issue a full certification of compliance for DEP file 240-0655.
Jim Wilson, second.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, that passes. 10 Applewood Road, Lot 44, request for COC.
And I don't believe there was anyone going to be in attendance tonight for that either. So this order of conditions was issued for a larger subdivision.
Where is this subdivision?
Off of Mass Ave. Know where that is?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Intasia, I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but it was
His
that
development.
project, that development. So this request for COC is for Lot 44, or 10 Applewood Road. And I have some pictures up.
This was issued like many moons ago, was it not?
Yes, quite a while ago.
20 years ago.
So obviously the site is stable.
Mature.
Hydrangeas are looking great.
Yeah, they sure are.
I need some.
I looked to see if there may be any flag remnants in the woods. Wasn't able to find any. But again, just did a simple pace test, and the edge of the backyard was more than 50 feet from, what I identified as, the wetlands boundary. There was a dry well that was shown on the plan that's still in existence and appears to have been maintained over the years. Right there. And so, all in all, I didn't find any issues, and I think the commission has all the information needed to issue a partial COC for any and all work related to Lot 44, also known as 10 Applewood Road.
Why not a full?
Because that would be for the entire development.
Oh, okay. How many more houses do they have to go? Quite a few.
And I got pretty lost in that development. There's
That's
a
big.
lot of houses, yeah.
Okay. Any questions, comments? Then I'll entertain a motion.
Adam Zucker moves we issue a partial certificate of compliance for DEP file 240-0346, 10 Applewood Road.
Is there a second?
Peter Cook in a second.
Wilson, second.
And a third. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, that passes. 8 Lake
representing this tonight. So unfortunately, the plan of record, I was not able to locate that, which is obviously, I'm not able to, compare existing conditions to the approved plan. Although the applicant, Mr. Scholey, did mention that the addition on the house was larger than originally proposed. In later pictures, you can see the house itself is up quite far from the area by Populatic Pond, far away from the FEMA floodplain. So in cases where, plans are not able to be located, difficult, but carrying to issue a river.
Issued?
Another one was to go.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
there wasn't a partial, no.
Yeah. Okay. It's not that old of a house, is it?
So the work included that addition that you can,
Oh, okay. But the main house, how, is it an old house?
I am,
Yeah, most of those out there are,
yeah, we're
I
old.
want to say cottages that have been converted over the years to
Yeah.
full homes.
Yeah.
And that's probably the old part is the A-frame in the middle.
Yeah.
The additions though on the right.
Yeah.
And it's obviously well established. Oh, everything,
And well maintained.
yes.
All right.
It's pretty nice out there.
It is very nice out there, yes.
Pretty.
Nobody invites us for picnics. Just like nobody invites us to the
So
swimming
then,
pool.
do we give
I have.
full COC or partial, or how does that work?
So that's up to the board, I think.
There's no more development gonna happen, I don't believe, right? There's,
No,
it's all
so,
developed.
On Lake Shore Drive.
yeah. At least on this area.
I think if the commission were to go ahead and issue any sort of COC, I think it would make sense to issue a full COC, because it's unlikely that the plan will be found. I looked through 8 Lake Shore and properties on either side, thinking it might have gotten filed under the wrong Lake Shore file. We don't have it electronically. We only have the order of conditions form itself to go on. And the calculations described on the form appear to be, pretty much accurate as far as, what I was able to measure out using GIS applications online.
Okay.
I'll do it, Dave. I'll do it, all right? You want me to do it? I make a motion to issue a certificate of compliance, a full certificate of compliance for file DEP number 240-0555, number 8 Lake Shore Drive.
Second?
Fallstone, I second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that passes. Now we come to Carvana, 269 Dedham Street. We had issued the cease and desist.
I have a request.
Excuse me? Yes? Do you need a break?
Yes, I need to come
Okay. While that's going on, do you want to talk about the...
The USDA county.
Sure. And draw it out. Put a pause with
Was
music.
he asked for an erase on that?
Pull up that information. And along with this correspondence was a packet on different grants that are available for farm properties. Last year, the commission requested that we mail those out to any applicable properties in town. I believe there were a handful, 7 or so. So we can do that again this year.
Were there any on Union Street?
No.
Just curious.
I don't know if you recall this from last year. It's a colored brochure.
Yeah, I would
I think there were, yeah.
mail it out again, doesn't hurt.
Yeah. We should be getting that
Okay. Alan, do you need to go?
No, I'm good. I'm all set. I gotta refill my water.
This
Okay.
is also on the website, the town website.
Yep.
So August 1st, 2024, the last day for nomination forms. Al, you mentioned
What's that?
you wanted to join the committee.
I did.
I thought maybe.
Oh, I think that's a good
Yeah, right.
recommendation.
Farm Service Agency.
You and Joe.
Yeah.
Now I can go till 10.
Okay, 269 Dedham Street, Carvana. We issued a cease and desist. We did a site plan, site visit, I should say. What date was that?
June 26th.
June 26th. Did not see any violations. There was water coming, going into the wetlands, but we did not see any of that. There's no signs of it. So you're just suggesting just keep it in place until the DEP puts out their papers?
Yeah, so at the on-site, we were able to confirm that there were no drains inside the garage. The slot or trench drain depicted on the 1989 as-built plan was filled in immediately after Carvana took over the lease on that property. So that would be one potential point source for contamination into the wetlands. And then we look at the existing conditions of the parking or the lot itself, which was crushed stone. And there's actually a crushed stone berm along the edge there. So I believe we all, after looking at it, thought it would be, I don't know,
It was
not to say
clean.
impossible, but
Yeah.
nearly impossible for someone to use a push broom to push water across 75 feet of gravel over a gravel berm down into the wetlands.
Air hose.
I went down into the wetlands to see if there were any
We almost lost her.
indications of vegetation that were dead or looked unhealthy, or if there was any odors or signs of staining, sheen on the water. I didn't observe any of that.
And the vegetation didn't show anything
No.
along the
Well, we
way.
wouldn't know because we couldn't see it once we got into the woods
Yeah.
5 feet.
We need to get you a GoPro so we can see what
Yeah.
you're seeing. Along with putting a rope on you. So, yeah, why
So
don't we
I
go
think-
ahead and just continue it until we get the information from the DEP.
Yeah, so DEP is monitoring the situation until Carvana comes up with a solution to handle their wastewater. From my understanding, they have found a system that will be able to process that wastewater, and that should be installed in the near future.
They're gonna put in a wash bay, basically,
Yeah.
self-contained washing, so that if they wanna wash cars and stuff.
And then that
berm.
water will be collected.
That's what the general manager was explaining.
They'll probably have a septic tank, 10,000 gallons, something will hold that, and then they'll pump it out.
Actually, I think, well, the specs that I've seen, it actually will be evaporated.
Oh, well, that's even better.
But yeah, Carvana and Audrey were both extremely helpful.
And cooperative.
And cooperative during the on-site. But, I don't think it hurts to just keep the cease and desist for car washing activities in place until, DEP has signed off on that.
Okay.
But no, I don't recommend any further action.
They didn't have that many cars there, Jim.
Well, I don't know, they might have.
They got rid of them before we
No,
got
so
there.
that-
Yeah.
But they told us, like the ones in the middle are the staging area that are leaving, and
Yeah,
there's
right.
another area that are just
Incoming.
came in and da-da-da-da. But it was very well organized. The parking lot was clean, no oil spills or fluids. So
So I could revise that letter to just state, to have them send us correspondence with DEP once that issue's been resolved, and then we can
Rescind.
Take
rescind that.
action.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds reasonable.
So we don't need to take action.
Correct.
Right, we're just leaving it in place.
Keep your motion.
That berm, the berm that's there is actually from plowing over the years,
Oh.
pushing the stone up.
Yeah.
And it's obvious, it's a berm made from the plows.
Yeah.
And looking at it, there's no way water can go down unless they pumped it over the hill, go down into the wetlands. It has to go to the far end of the parking lot.
Yeah.
And if that were
Which
the
will never
case, there
make it.
would be, there was
Yeah.
no signs of like any drainage channels even.
No ruts, nothing, even from the rainwater that we've had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
No, well
Not like-
maintained yard.
Not like at Shire?
No, no, I'm sure not like Shire, yeah.
Okay. Did everybody read the minutes from our June meeting?
What minutes? I'm just kidding. I've already.
I don't know. We're questioning you a little bit, yeah?
Did everybody else read?
I did.
As long as you're good with them, Adam, I am.
I'm the one that's going to jail.
Neil and we trust.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, accept a motion to accept the minutes of June 12th.
Bellstone, I make a motion to accept the minutes from June 12th, 2024.
Peter, go get in a second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And one abstention.
I didn't vote. I wasn't there.
Right, that's it. Okay, the final thing, that's really nothing. We're just reappointing Al to the CPC.
Who?
Alan.
Who's that guy?
I don't know, who is that guy? Did you,
Side guy.
Are you okay with that?
I'm fine with that for now, sure. Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. Do you?
No?
Because you weren't happy about not getting your walkway done the last time you came in front of us. Did you do your walk? Did you
Yes,
guys
we
do the
did.
walk?
We did.
How'd-
It was very
yeah.
educational for them.
So is it?
I should have had the pointer with me, though.
All right.
Is it out of line to ask on that? How'd you make out? Where are we going with it? Is it moving forward or?
Well, we
is-
need to put a proposal together
Okay.
of what we want to
Gotcha.
do for the money.
Gotcha.
So Caitlin and I will work on that.
Yep.
And yeah, unfortunately, when we were out there, we noted that the beech leaf disease is very extensive in Campbell Forest.
Really?
Like every beech tree that we saw is
There's a lot
probably
there.
going to be
Yeah.
gone in the next year or two.
We'll need
Is it fungal?
to get funding to
So I
Right.
believe it's a bug that
to cut them down.
attacks
Cut 'em
the
down?
tree,
Dead.
and then
Oh, really?
Bacterial.
when the tree is down trying to fight that, that's when the fungus moves in.
Yeah.
And it's really fast spreading.
Can you spray for it?
No, I mean, it's happened so quickly, there really wasn't time for an agency to put something together. I know some places are trying, just supplementing nutrients, but, I don't even know if they've identified, something to treat the exact fungus with.
Yeah.
That's how fast it's
Where
moving.
would we get funding to, for forest management?
So I know we had talked about, there's a lot of large dead pine trees right on the edge of the trail that are, a definite safety concern. And when we were out there, Gary Sullivan and Peter Diamond joined us, and we, briefly discussed maybe adding on to that, creating some sort of forest management program, because once all those beech are dead, some other type of vegetation is going to move in, and there's a plan in place, it's less likely that those will be invasives.
Well, Mr. Crane is the tree warden, and every year, this year he had over 200 trees he was giving out. Maybe we can,
I've got one of those twigs.
well, yeah, well.
We need something
Oh,
bigger
you
than
want,
that.
well, it's expensive.
Well, that's what, but
Full
we
grown
need
trees.
money to take down the trees.
Because isn't the main entrance off North Street mostly beech trees right there?
It's
The first
the
50
the
feet in?
majority of Campbellville Forest seems to be beech,
Beech, yeah.
overstory.
So he's responsible for taking down the trees, huh?
Well, I don't know. Not
Oh,
on
we
the
should have
forest.
talked to him.
On the roadside, yes, out in the forest,
No.
not a problem.
Well, we'll have to look at what funding is available from the state.
I mean, I know the state's having the same issue with their properties, so.
Is this an invasive bug? Or is it-
The
did-
bug is invasive, yeah. The fungus has probably always been
Yeah,
around,
right.
yeah.
Can
But
we
yeah, it's
put
definitely
bats in there?
unfortunate, like the emerald ash borer is, a big concern with ash trees, but that's a lot slower moving. There's viable treatment options, but yeah, this beech leaf disease appeared a couple years ago and it's already all over the state.
Pandemic. Vegetative. Okay.
So-
But yeah, it was a good walk.
But yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good walk with the
I think
CPC.
the bigger pictures.
Because, yeah,
more
again, they have never walked it, so I was able to give them a nice
Yeah, the entrance there is definitely pretty hidden.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
Oh, it's total,
And
yeah.
we also discussed.
Well, I like that. I don't want
revamping-
people there. What's next to my house?
I know.
he likes his own private little 2-mile walk.
Nice on its end.
We'll just park at your house then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna tell the high school kids there's a party at the Campbell Forest.
Yes,
Well,
there you
actually,
go.
Oh, we found a pile of beer cans.
I'm sure you have.
and a whiskey bottle, so
Oh, I didn't see that.
Gary had walked over there and, yeah.
Told you to throw that stuff away, Dave.
Usually they're by the DPW wellhead.
Yeah, they were deep in the
That's how they
woods.
mark them.
They were probably 100 feet off the trail.
Trail?
The pile of beer cans next to a tree.
Yeah. Just a bunch of kids went out there for a powwow.
But it's interesting. They had to walk there because unless
Yeah,
they
but-
came.
Alice, yeah, on the other side.
Way. Yeah, and we told the CP, I mean, the first one, wanting to improve on the other one, thing that had, you were away, the bikers came in that used Lynn Farms.
Yeah.
And the New England Bike Association or something came in, and we can work with them, and they'll go for grants and things to do our trails. All of them.
Zaria had mentioned that they would work with us on some of that stuff at some level.
Yeah. So it was, we've had, some conversations with them, but a little bit in the future, but, and, something to work on this year, that we can start putting some packages together.
Make sure you clear it with my buddy down there at Lynn Farm, the Lazy Loopers.
You're the sheriff down there.
We'll clear it with him, all right.
No more fights.
We'll put the guy who's in charge of the beavers over there. With the silencer.
So, we'll need
Okay.
an official vote,
For
Al for the
All right.
CPC rep.
Make a motion.
Adam Zucker reluctantly moves that I couldn't miss the chance.
Al Finney, I make a motion that Adam Zucker is the new
Terminated.
I'll second that.
You guys are gagging up. I move that we reappoint Alan Finney as CPC representative for 2025.
All in favor? Or second it?
Falstone, I second.
All in favor? Aye. Passes.
Didn't see all opposed. Come on, give me a shot at it.
It was a majority vote for yes, so we didn't need your no
It's all
vote.
good. I'll be there tomorrow night, 7:30 sharp.
Good man. All right, yeah, I'll take a motion to close the meeting.
Peter Kokinda, so moved.
Second?
Adam Zucker, second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting is closed.